Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you're listening to this. And I need to talk. I need to talk about something. I want to talk about why the Jared Goff record breaking extension, that's what they keep saying, it didn't break any records, but why this extension is even better than you thought. I'm not going to talk numbers. I might at the very end, all right? But I'm not going to talk numbers in this one. I'm going to talk team. I'm going to talk Jared Goff. I'm going to talk stats. I'm going to talk mindset. And I'm going to talk about why we may have all just been flat out wrong this entire time. So let's start off with my thoughts. We'll get into a couple of things that have been said around the league by people who are likely smarter than myself. And then we will end it by kind of putting a bow and wrapping it all together. Detroit Lions fans, this is your quarterback. You have been chanting through the streets, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. And now he's your guy. How do you feel? Do you feel good about it? I mean, you basically said he needs to be our next quarterback. We all chanted it, whether it at a Red Wings game, whether it be at the draft, whether it be in supermarkets. We wanted this guy, and now he is ours. So one of the articles I like, it's kind of going out of style right now, is the winners and losers. And I'm going to get into that, who the winners were in this deal and who the losers will, and you're going to like it. All right, but before I do that, let me just say this. I think there's one thing everybody is overlooking. Jared Goff is coming off a massive 4-year, $134 million contract. Okay, that's what the going rate for a Super Bowl caliber quarterback was. Remember when he signed it? 4 years ago. The going rate for a quarterback now is that $50 million, which he got. So back then it was 33, 34 million. Now it is 53 million. And that just shows none of us thought paying Goff 30 million this year was an overpay. None of us. In 4 years, actually 5 years because he has another year on his deal, then the 4-year extension, none of us are going to think paying Goff 50 million is an overpay because the salary cap just keeps going up and you need to lock down your best quarterback. Now, here's the other thing that I love about the fact that this isn't his first big contract. I think so often with rookies, all right, St. Brown, Penei Sewell, all right, you look at rookies around the league who have signed their massive extension, and sometimes they live up to it, sometimes they do not. Players can play differently when they've gone from I'm rich to I'm done, I'm settled, I never need another contract in my life. What is the mindset of that player? We see this in the NBA all the time. People get a big contract and all of a sudden their game goes to junk. Maybe it's the pressure. Maybe it's the desire. Maybe it's the drive, something you've worked so hard for your whole life to be able to provide for yourself, for your family, for your family's family, right? For generational wealth. You've worked so hard to acquire it, and then you get it. It's easy to let off the gas pedal. Jared Goff has already gotten the generational wealth. Jared Goff has already gotten the big contract. Jared Goff has already fought through the adversity of being done and then coming back. So you don't have to sit here and wonder, oh man, now that Jared Goff is getting paid, what kind of player is he going to be? What is his work ethic going to be like? It's going to be the exact same because Jared Goff was already getting paid. All right, and now he's working to prove he needs another contract. Why not? All right, so that is my own personal thoughts on the matter. Let's go into some other things that we're looking at here. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff agrees to the extension. We talked about that. I've given numbers on this. By the way, when it happened, I made a video. Nobody watched it. That's very interesting. Maybe it's because all the big news outlets were covering it too. All right, so let's look at winners and losers. Winner, Jared Goff. All right? Jared Goff is a winner in this scenario. I completely agree. He gets left for dead with the Detroit Lions franchise. That's what they said, right? After going on a Super Bowl team, he gets traded as an afterthought. Remember, it took 2 additional first-round picks and a third-round pick for the Rams to get Matthew Stafford from us, and Goff was kind of the throw-in, like, please take his salary. We can't afford his salary, right? He was a throw-in. And year 1, at least the first 10 games, he kind of looked like one, didn't he? But then he became the Jared Goff we all know and love over the last 2.5 years. Another winner. Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Lions core. This is why this is a great signing. When you talk about great quarterbacks, when you talk about a top 5 quarterback, when you talk about a quarterback that is a Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback, you're talking about a quarterback who can make other players around him better. All right? And a lot of the players he has around him, sure, are just here. Right? But when I look at these players, you can look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th-round pick. Is he better? Yep. All right. Laporta was good in college. Better as a pro. Jared Goff. What about guys like Josh Reynolds? Josh Reynolds played well in L.A. with Goff, then did nothing. Then the Lions signed him midway through the year because the guy couldn't find a roster. And then he signs with the Lions and is back to his old form. All right, what about Khalif Raymond? Khalif Raymond has a season where he has almost 50 catches, 700 yards. 2 years ago, he was never even remotely close to that in Tennessee. We signed him as a guy who was a kick return specialist. All right, everybody is better off because of Jared Goff. And then Ben Johnson. They have talked about the Goff-Johnson relationship. These guys are boys. And Jared Goff isn't just part of what's going on here. Like, all right, you do what we say. Jared Goff is a big part, an integral part of helping determine what this offense is going to run. What does he like doing? What are the players' strengths around him? He is the guy that is helping with those things. This is a big deal. And when the winners are Ben Johnson, everybody else on the offense, and Jared Goff, you know it's been a good signing. Who are the losers? The Dallas Cowboys. All right, whether it's because Jared Goff's better than Dak Prescott, so the Lions will beat the Cowboys this year. What? Yes, they will. All right, that would be a way, but also the losers because Dak Prescott is a winner, and now he's going to get an even bigger payday. All right, and then the other loser is Hendon Hooker, the 3rd-round draft pick, now slotted for Detroit's backup role for the foreseeable future. He's buried on the depth chart. Yes? No? Maybe so. All right, But by the way, if the loser is Hendon Hooker, the winner again is the Detroit Lions. Because if Hendon Hooker comes out, has great preseasons for the next year or two, if Hendon Hooker plays well in mop-up duty and something like that, wonderful trade asset as his contract is about to expire. Or we are able to re-sign him for the future, right? Like he still has 3 more years on his contract. It's not like he's just not here. All right. And Jared Goff, you know, again, it's a 4-year extension, but basically it's a 3-year contract this year and then 3 more years after that. So I don't necessarily think Hendon Hooker's a loser here. He's a loser here in the fact that, yeah, he's not going to have a chance next year to become a starting quarterback in the NFL. But did we all ever really think that was going to happen? Like, I made videos on it. Like, what about Hendon Hooker? What are the Lions thinking about Hendon Hooker? Could he be the potential replacement? Because this Goff contract extension is taking a long time. Even I got sucked into the possibility, into the hopium of who Hendon Hooker was. But the truth is, we have a great quarterback. You don't let those slip between your fingers for something that might be, especially when that great quarterback is 29 years old. Not 39, 29. This is a good deal for the Lions. I just wanted to make sure it was known. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Go Lions. Jared Goff. Jared Goff.